Hello, I'm Andrea Wiley from Denver, Colorado, and I am going to walk through my RealtyTrac save searches. Right now I'm on my desktop page of my dashboard for RealtyTrac. I go into my save searches. Here I picked out a nice solid neighborhood, put in some criteria for a neighborhood here in the greater Denver area, and so I clicked on the zip code here. I go in and overall it's set up pretty smoothly to use. I have all the right now foreclosures that are listed here, which is great. That works for me. Where I start running into issues here is where I run into a pre-foreclosures. On the pre-foreclosures it states that there are no pre-foreclosures, which I'm sure that there has to be some, and it's a fairly large zip code here in Colorado. There's got to be at least a handful of people behind on payments in the pre-foreclosure stage. You can also pull it up on a map. So here I'm going to remove bank owned and the regular for sale. Here it still says there's a handful of auctions. You can remove both of these. And again, it shows me that there is no pre-foreclosures here, which is something that I'm not really certain is probably accurate for this greater area of Denver. That being said, I'm going to go back to my list. This is my list of properties. Again, pre-foreclosures. It states that there is none. I can click on auctions here. Auctions again is a really neat opportunity, I believe. However, the issue that I run into is when I'm on the auctions page, there isn't the dates of when the auctions are all seem to have passed. So that kind of makes things a little bit more difficult for me. However, I click here on the view details of this one. Let's see if we can find out additional information to this one. So I'm looking here through the foreclosure information of what the loan was amount that they foreclosed on, the date that it was recorded and entered, foreclosure history. So it's currently in foreclosure again. It looks like that auction date may have occurred, but it doesn't really give me additional information to be able to go further with that. I'd still have to reach out to the county to find out more about that. Bank owned again is a great option for finding properties that that are listed on the market, that are listed with a bank. Same thing with for sale. For sale is a great thing that they have here. When I have talked to other realtors that have actually gotten through the RealtyTrac site, it is stated that that they don't think the prices are as accurate. I haven't spent a lot of time checking out the prices, but I'll pull up this 7066 East Maplewood Avenue here just on the internet and see what we can pull up for that house for it being listed. So on RealtyTrac it states that it's listed for $344. I'm going to go to Redfin or Realtor.com, which are pretty solid sites that are tied directly to the MLS as well. And it says it is now sold. It's not available according to Realtor.com. That it's no longer available. I'm going to check the same thing out with both Redfin and we can even try like Zillow to see if that's an accurate statement. See here again it says not for sale, so it states that this house is no longer available or for sale. So here when it says that it's listed, again the information may not be accurate. I'm not sure where it's pulling from, but it is a concern that I definitely want to bring forward. One thing that I do really like about the site, again, I'd want to search further to clarify to ensure where the information is coming from and that it is good information. But it does list sold properties. And what's great about this is, especially for an investor, our big concern is always getting comps. And so this is a great way to be able to get comps. Again, depending on where the information is coming from and the accuracy of the sold price and the sold date. So here I'm going to take Billings Way. Let's say I want to compare several 4-bedroom, 3-bath houses. So I'm going to take this one, I'm going to take this one, it's another 4-bed, 3-bath, another 4-bed, 3-bath. So I'm going to take these 4 houses, and what I can do is I hit the compare selected. Again, this is a great opportunity for me to kind of go through and see what information there is, get an average price per square foot, all of that basic information for what homes of this size and this price would sell for, which is great. I'm able to compare apples to apples a fair amount. The one thing that could be a little bit more beneficial with this is once I have it in the compare selected, I can't uncompare it from this slide. I have to go back in here to the compare selected, and I have to remove it from the list to be able to remove it from the previous page. And so you always have to have at least 2 documents. So that's kind of a frustrating thing. It can take a little bit more time if I decide, okay, I want to compare 5-bed, 7 baths or something like that. I'd have to add this site, this one, to be able to remove one of the other ones. So I'd have to add this one, then go in there to remove these ones, because you have to have 2 options on there, which is a bit of a challenge. One thing that I do think is great too is the ability to look at solds on the map. So I can remove here. If I could add the solds, so I'm going to take the auctions out as well. So there's nothing on the map. If I can add the solds within the last 3 months, this can be really helpful to get an idea of what solds are for the area. Again, sometimes even if we could add in here so it's even just sold within the last 60 days or even 1 month, because that really will give you a good idea of what things are selling. But it gives me an opportunity to roll around here and find out what things are sold. So that's a very beneficial factor. Again, my big concerns is just knowing where the information is coming from, because it seems like, again, I know that there is some pre-foreclosures in the area. Also for sales and so the pre-foreclosures not being listed is a concern that I'd like to have a look further into. The auctions, the fact that the auction dates are already, that the date is listed is already expired. So we want to make sure that, maybe if it is something that's going to encourage people to be able to go attend an auction, to be able to have the dates in advance. And then the for sales, I have heard back from realtors, and just with that prime example there of East Maplewood, it lists that the house is for sale here on the site. But when I go to some other real estate sites, it says that it is not for sale, it is not available. So that would be an interesting, curious factor for me to find out more about that. Again, I think there's so much data here that it's a great opportunity for me to continue to explore my real estate business. However, there's a few things that for retention and for greater promotion would be great if it could be clarified or cleaned up just a little bit. I hope this is helpful. Thanks, everyone.